Welcome back, guys. Today I'm with my mom.
Hi.
And we're talking about Jairus and his daughter. And Jesus raising Jairus' daughter, that's his name, from the dead. So the story goes, Jairus came up to Jesus and he was like, yo, my daughter's really sick. I need you to come heal her. And Jesus was like, okay. So they start walking through town, but there's like a big crowd, right? And so they're trying to like weave through the crowd, Jesus and these disciples and Jairus. And then this woman that was sitting in the crowd was like, yo, if I touch his clothes, he'll heal me. Like, I'll be healed, right? And so as he was walking by, she reached out and she touched Jesus's cloak. And then Jesus stopped and he was like, whoa, who did that? And everyone's like, or he was like, who touched me? And the apostles were like, we're in a crowd and you're asking who touched you? And then Jesus looked and he found the woman. And then he was like, your faith has made thee whole. And she was like, whoa, thank you. And then Jairus' servants came up and they were like, yo, your daughter's dead. And he was like, dang. And so then he was like, it's okay, Jesus, you don't need to come anymore. And Jesus was like, no, I'll come. So they went back to Jairus' house anyway. And all of like the servants and the mom and everyone was there and they were crying and they were sad. And Jesus was like, she's just asleep. Like, just go wake her up. And they were all like, no, she's dead. We just, like, she's dead. We saw her die. She's dead. And he was like, no, she's asleep. And so then they went. It was Jairus and his wife and then Jesus. And they went in to see the girl. And Jesus was like, okay, wake up. And so she sat up and she was alive. Miracles. Okay. What were you saying earlier?
One of the lessons that I think we can get out of this story is to think that sometimes when we ask the Lord for something, we think, and do it now, do it on my time, do it my way, and that it would have been easy for Jairus, and maybe he did, I don't know, to get a little frustrated in the crowd and be like, you were on your way to help me first and then come back and help these other people, right? Like I have dibs, kind of, so to speak. And that it's important to remember that the Lord knows the timeline. The Lord knows when things need to happen, and he knows when they need to happen and how they need to happen for us to have the greatest blessings and the greatest strength. And so even though it might have seemed unfair from Jairus' point of view to say, you were coming with me to see my daughter and now my daughter died, and if you would have been a little more prompt, things would have worked out. The blessing and the miracle that Jairus got was maybe more impressive than what he would have gotten if Christ would have just gone straight there. And then the woman that touched his cloak would not have been able to be healed because Christ was trying to follow somebody else's timeline instead of his own. So when we get into a situation where we feel like we need the Lord's help now, and he doesn't give us his help right now, that there's a reason for that. And it's not just that he's ignoring us or being mean.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And adding on to what you said, it's easy to lose faith in Jesus Christ and Heavenly Father when they don't do things according to how we want to. But by knowing that our timeline is not the same as Heavenly Father's and that things happen when they're supposed to happen for a reason, and that like everything that happens in our life is for a reason, then it helps us to be able to stay firm in our testimony and our faith in Jesus Christ without being discouraged when things aren't going exactly the way we want to, because that means that we are given the opportunity to grow and to strengthen our testimonies.
Which led me to another thought that I heard in a talk one time, where they talked about the blind man that Jesus healed. And the story, as we read it in the Bible, is that Jesus met the blind man and he healed him. But the thing that we don't necessarily think about is that the man had been blind his whole life. He had to wait, possibly 40 years, 45 years, 20 years. We don't know how long he had to wait before Jesus met him and healed him. And so he did have to be patient for the Lord's timing to get the miracle that he needed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Any other thoughts?
I don't think so. You?
Nope, I don't think so.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas! Today is December 6th of 2020. Don't forget to go do Light the World and spread the light of Christ. And woohoo! Have a good rest of your day and good start of this week. Yeah.